Hi everybody, this is Susie. I got a couple things I want to tell you guys about before I start the video. Let me scoot this up so you can see it better. As most of you know, I just started with Stampin' Up as a Stampin' Up demonstrator. And so I wanted to, for the rest of this month of August, give every customer that places an order with me a free gift. And in order to get your free gift, you need to use this host code, and it will ask for this host code when you after you've loaded your cart, and it'll have a place there to put a code in. These are all capital letters, so it's 3HMYKMNY. Like I said, it's through the month of August. At the end of the month, well, beginning of September, I will send out every one of my customers a free gift. Okay, so this is my my store website. So it's happy-wife-crafts.stampinup.net, and I will have a link to this in the description box, and I will also have the hostess code in the description box as well. So maybe it'd be easier for you guys just to copy and paste it. But anyways, so that is what I wanted to tell you guys at the beginning here. And then I'm going to be making this card for you guys, and it's using the new Blended Seasons stamp set and die set. And so this is the inside of the card, or excuse me, the outside of the card, and then this is the inside of the card. And I used quite a few of the dies that came in this kit. And so this is, if you guys have not heard of this yet, it's called Blended Season. It is only going to be available this month, and then it's gone. So it's a two-part stamp set and a matching die set. You can either purchase the stamp set individually without the dies, or you can purchase the dies alone, or you can purchase it as a bundle. And the dies that come with this kit, you get 3 frame dies, and these are really cool because they're stitched on the outside of the cut line and on the inside, so you can do some really cool techniques with it. And then this piece here cuts out this bell right here, and it's the only, let me scoot this back a little bit, sorry, I didn't realize I was kind of out of frame there. But this is the only stamp in the set that coordinates with the dies. But as you see, it goes very well together too. You get a flourish, or yeah, not a flourish, I'm sorry, but like a holly berry leaf here, and you get a little flower with some leaves, or actually there's 3 flowers. There's flower here, one here, and one here, and then you get a bow, a really intricate leaf, and 2 flourishes. And it's cool that they give you 2 of these, because then you don't have to have as many passes on your big shot as you would if you didn't have more than 1. So anywho's so I used that stamp set. Well, let me show you guys what I used in the stamp set. So I used on the stamp set, I used this Merry Christmas here, and that's the only image in the stamp set that I used. The die set, I used the large and the medium frame. I used the 2 flourishes. I used the leaf, the bow. I used this piece and this piece. The only piece I did not use is the bell. Well, and the small frame. Alright. And then for embossing folders, I used this tufted dynamic folder. And I've got everything cut out. The only thing that I'll be doing off screen is the embossing part. Okay, so let me get everything out of the way here. Okay, so let me bring in my pieces. Okay, so I cut everything in advance and stamped in advance also. Alright, and the other colors that I used is, well, I used Real Red for the card base and my panels, Whisper White, and then I used Shaded Spruce and Old Olive, and again I used more of the Whisper White for the flourishes. Okay, and I went ahead and I stamped this in advance so that you didn't have to, I've tried to save a little bit of time. And I'm going to tell you guys the measurements of everything real quick. Oh shoot, I dropped something. Okay, so the sentiment, you need it to be 3.5 by, I think it's 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 piece of Whisper White, and then stamp the Merry Christmas on it. And then you're going to need a piece of Real Red that measures 3 1/4 inches by 1 1/2 inches, and that's for the piece that this layers on behind it. You need a piece of Whisper White big enough to cut out this is the largest frame, and then with Fun Foam I cut out the medium size frame, and this is for my layer for the back of this. Layer just like that. And then I have a panel that is what is it? It is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Yeah, 5 1/4 inches for your layering panel. And then I have a card base cut and scored, and this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 card base. And then I have another piece of foam that I cut out for the back of this piece here, and it'll layer just like that. And I didn't use a die or anything, I just cut this out with my scissors, and it makes it a lot easy if you just lay your piece of paper that you want it, you know, that you want it to be that size, and then you just cut it out around the paper, and that makes it a little easier to get your sizing right. Makes it go much faster that way. And I dropped a piece, 1 second, sorry. Okay, so that's the little bow. And when I get to the little die cuts and things like that, I will tell you guys which of the dies that I used to cut it out with. Okay, so I'm going to set my card base off to the side for a minute. I'm going to use my tufted embossing folder. Let me grab that. I'm going to set this piece off to the side. This is the inside layering piece here. So I'm going to take my embossing folder and I'm going to emboss the white piece and the card base. So let me move this so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Alright, so figure out which is your front, and this is my front, so it's going to go in the embossing folder like this. Okay, so I'm going to spray with these dynamic embossing folders. You want to spray your cardstock before you run it through. If you don't, then you're going to most likely crack your paper and cut it, because there's such a deep embossing that you need the paper to be a little bit more pliable. Okay, so I'm going to give this a spray on the front and on the back side of the piece the side that I'm embossing. And you see that I gave it a pretty good spray, And then you're going to line this up so that the edge of your card is right there real close. And I tend to get mine a little too close, so I'm going to try to back it out just a tiny bit. Alright, that's good. Before my paper dries on me. Alright, so I'm going to give that a squish, and then I'm going to run it through the die cutting machine like this. And I'm going to take this out, and you can see that it's still a little bit damp, but it dries really, really fast. And isn't that beautiful, you guys? I love this embossing folder. I love it, love it, love it. It's so pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing with the white piece. And with the embossing, you want to use wet glue because if you were to use your tape runner, it probably would end up not sticking. And that's the last thing you want, is for your card to fall apart. Okay, so now I'm going to, I'm kind of pressing this down, but I'm really trying not to smash my quilting. Okay. And before I do that, okay, and now I am going to, I'm going to grab my punch. So I'm using the trio punch that's brand new in the annual catalog. And I'm going to use this side. You got a rounder, a pretty flower, and then like a hole punch. So I'm going to round my corners. Okay. And then on my top two corners, I'm going to punch this little flower decoration. And to get this side over here, I'm just going to turn my paper over so that I can get it on the right angle. Perfect. Okay, I got these little bits here. Okay, and then while I've got this out, this is the piece that goes on the inside of my card, and I'm going to round just the just this side. I'm just going to flip it over to get the okay, and then I'm going to use the flower punch just on those two front corners. So again, I'm going to flip my paper over. Okay, and then it looks like this. Alright, and put this away. I don't need it anymore. Alright. Alright. Okay, time to start gluing some stuff together. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do something. Almost. I need to round these corners as well on the red piece. And I'm not going to use the flower punch. I'm only going to round the corners. I'm going to round all 4 sides. Okay, just like that. Now I can put it away. Alright. Okay. Isn't this pretty, y'all? I love the way this looks. Because you can see the red peeking through where the flowers are. It's just really pretty, I think. Okay. Those two oh my goodness. Guys, I don't know where my brain is. I thought these were both the same size and they are not, so I need to grab a bigger one. Looking a little lopsided. There. You guys, seriously, if you've never seen the Stampin' Up crystals, they are bar none. I'm not kidding. The sparkle and shine that these things put off is remarkable. Seriously. Just beautiful. They have so much more sparkle and shine than anyone I've ever seen before, to be completely honest with you. They're beautiful, you guys, seriously. Yeah, the camera does not do these justice. Yeah, they're very pretty. That's very pretty. Okay, so that is done. I'm gonna put this up. That way I don't lose any of those. Okay. And now I'm going to glue this piece on the back. And just line that up, make it even as you can. And it's not even 100% necessary to make it perfect, but it does look nice, I think. Okay, so I am not going to glue this on yet. I'm going to put this piece aside and I'm going to glue this piece to the inside of my card. Okay, I think I got everything except for one of those little circles, and I'm pretty sure that I cut some extras anyway, so. Alright, so I have 3, well actually I've got more than that, but I'm not using these ones. I have 3 leaves cut from the shaded spruce, and I have this little hollyberry piece cut out of old olive, and I have this piece cut of old olive, and then I have a couple shaded spruce pretties and whatnot, and I cut this piece extra as well, and that's this piece. Okay, so I'm taking this piece here, the hollyberry one, and I am going to snip off the hollyberry part, and then I'm just left with the leaf. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So when you look at this piece here, once you die cut it, the center is obviously a flower, but what's not so obvious is this here and this here are also a flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle it, and I'm going to snip off that piece of the leaves and that piece of the leaves, and then I'm not using this piece. So I got me some extra. Let me see in the camera what you guys can see. So I have a couple of pieces from the one flower cut from the old olive, and then I have some shaded spruce. And rather than try to piece these little tiny dots, what I did was I have a hole punch that cuts out teeny tiny little punches, little dots. And what I'm going to do, because what I did with my first one was I took this cutout and I cut it out in red, and then I snipped off the green berries, and then I layered the whole piece on top of the red piece. Pain in the butt, I'm not gonna lie, it was not fun. So what I'm gonna do to make this a lot easier is I got those little circles, and I'm literally just going to, well, if my glue works anyways, I'm going to put a tiny dab of glue on each of the little berries. Just like that. And then I'm going to use the needle with the little ball in my glue, and I'm going to lick the end of the ball just a tiny bit so that it'll pick up these little berries and place them up on top. And whatever wet they get from my spit or drool, that's horrible, sorry guys. Anyways, will dry very quickly. I'm barely putting any on there. And there's another one right there. Yay! And my berries are there. Okay. That's way easier, you guys, seriously. Because I ended up actually having to layer it twice on there because I messed up the top piece with glue and whatever else got stuck on my fingers trying to work with this little teeny tiny thing. Anyways, it was not very much fun. Okay, so first I'm going to kind of scoot these pieces out of my way just a little bit, and I'm going to glue this piece down. Okay, so how I'm going to do this is I'm going to get it all laid on how I want it, and then I have a little trick for getting it so you don't have to basically start from scratch. tiny bit of glue underneath this one little leaf here because it's wanting to flop around on me. Alright, And now for the inside. I didn't cut. On the other one I used some of the olive, old olive little leaf there, but this is going to look very pretty, I think. So just like that. And that completes the card, you guys. I hope you guys liked this video. And if you guys have any questions or need any help with anything, I'd be more than happy to do so. And I hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Oh, real quick here, let me show you the difference. So I've got these two here. I'm gonna kind of tip these up just a little bit. That's the nice thing about not gluing the ends in. It just gives it a little bit of dimension, I think. And then that's what the inside of this one was, and you can see that's what I used these two old olive leaves there, and instead I used the die cut leaf there. Anyways, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.